generations. And now, the power of two restores the one.
We got a bidet. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we got what I would say is probably one of our first legitimate teases of MLB The Show 25 coming up very, very soon. We got a little tease today, but at the same time, I think we're going to get a lot of information here coming up. In the past, it's been relatively around this time when we would at least know the cover athlete, and then throughout the month of February, we'd get a whole bunch of information about the game, leading up till about mid-March when we actually get the game. If you get the deluxe editions, you get the game a little early if you pay a little extra money and get some of those digital goods. Or if you get the standard edition, it's usually like 3 or 4 days after. But what's exciting here, let's go ahead and speculate, right? So let's take a look. Okay, so on Twitter, we saw MLB The Show post this little 10-second teaser of MLB The Show 25. Now, couple of things here. One, shout out to Daddy Demo TV. Very, very cool MLB The Show content creator. Love the channel. So just quick shout out. But also on MLB The Show here, this is 10 seconds. And what's important is that the color is changing on that 25, right? So there's a lot of things I could speculate from this. One, it could just be holographic. It could just be kind of a foil. Two, when we see the changes in the color, does that mean that there's something that's like really important from that? Like are the colors that it's changing, are they going to be important themselves? Like the we see like a purple, we see a green, a yellow, a pink. Uh, it ultimately ends on that color red that we regularly see. But the one thing that I want to point out here, and it could be that I'm a little bit biased here, is right in the middle of this teaser trailer. Right here, I paused it. This blue stays on there a little bit longer and is full-fledged blue the entire time that that is on there. So like when we watch it from the beginning, we see a lot of mix of colors happen here. But once it hits this blue, it hits it and then it stays there for a little bit and then changes so that it goes back to the red. Now, my little tinfoil hat here theory about, what does this mean? Uh, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I know a lot of people are talking about like Ellie De La Cruz, Bobby Witt Jr. being on the cover. I'm gonna go a little bit further here, and even though it might be a little far-fetched and wishful thinking, the thing that I want to point out is I want to point out the relation of the color here. So we got the blue. How's this blue? Am I crazy? I feel like the blue here that we see from the 25 is the blue that we see in the City Connect jerseys for Detroit. Now, if we were to pick a player from Detroit to be on the cover, I think hands down it would probably be Scooble. Maybe Riley Green would be up there too, or Colt Keith. A lot of them are big. I don't know, because I know something that MLB The Show likes to do is they like to have people on the cover that play their game and that are passionate about their game. I have no idea if Tarek Skubal plays MLB The Show or not. I don't know if Riley Green or Colt Keith or literally anybody on the Tigers plays MLB The Show. The only one that I've ever known, and it's because they had this thing during COVID times where there was a representative from each MLB team that competed in a tournament, is that Nico Goodrum was big into the show. But if you ask me, I think this blue color is the City Connect jersey for Tarek Skubal and the Detroit Tigers. So I'm very hopeful that this happens. I I might be just way off on a limb. I don't know. I think it'd be really cool to have a tiger on the cover once again. I also think it would be cool to have like Ellie De La Cruz. Bobby Wood Jr. is cool. Um, I don't know. There's always great athletes on these covers. I just want Detroit to have another one. That we had one way back for MLB The Show 14 with Miguel Cabrera. Honestly, I think it'd be really cool to get the a voting system back in there. I know Madden did that for a couple of years where they had like a tournament bracket of one or two players from each team competed, and then whoever was at the very end with fan voting was the cover. And I think that'd be really cool to have here. But again, this is my prediction. It could be absolutely nothing. I could be right on the bullseye, but we'll have to wait and see. My guess, again, based on history, because MLB The Show history repeats itself all the time, whether it's the release of the information or the release date of the game, it's usually right around that last week of January is when we find out who's on the cover, and then middle of March is when we get the game, and February is always when we hear about the content. So, very excited to hear about what's yet to come, especially because they talked about how they listened to the fans this year. They've talked about how they're ripping out seasons and sets, and they're trying to bring back an experience that everybody that has been playing MLB The Show, for probably the last decade, would be happy to play again. These last couple of years, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed seasons and sets to a point. I enjoyed when there was a lot of different sets that you could complete and get bonus cards and stuff. But like this past year, there was hardly any of them. And I feel like that really made it look like there was a lack of content. Also because it felt like there was less content. And there could be a mathematical way of proving me wrong that there was actually on par or more content, but the way it looked and how much we played week to week, it just didn't seem like it. So I'm glad they're listening to the fans and they are completely retooling this. Maybe the foil on the 25 was to, emulate all the colors that they've been having in the past and just kind of saying we're going to do the greatest hits of all this stuff. I don't know. We're going to have to wait to see in February once we get all this information to see what actually they are going to bring to the table this year. I know I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring to Diamond Dynasty. I am very excited to try to, or to actually see what kind of legends they're going to bring to the game. I am hoping that they bring back a really cool Detroit Tigers player to be in the mix. And I also really hope they bring back Ichiro. Ichiro, hasn't been in the game for a couple of years now, but now that he's in the Hall of Fame, it'd be really cool to bring him back. And also the other two that were voted into the Hall of Fame, they'd be great too. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to bringing more and more MLB The Show 25 content to you in the months to come. And thank you if you've been here before with MLB The Show 24 that we just wrapped. I think we actually got like one more thing potentially to look at. They have one more program that is coming out in the beginning of February. If it's worthwhile to take a look at with moments and stuff, absolutely we're going to do it. But I really think it's going to be just a transition period because I think we're going to get packs in that program that are the now and later packs. So you get some cards for this year's game, the 24, and then, or I should say last year's game now for 24, and then you also get cards for 25. So if you've been playing 24 and getting those packs, you'll get kind of a head start when you get to 25. And I'm just looking forward to it. I'm excited for a brand new experience to be playing with MLB The Show, and I'm hoping that the community that has been around longer than myself also is happy about about the game, because that tells me that they'll be back and that they'll have a lot of great content to come. So, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Drops a like if you like the video and drops a comment letting us know who you think is going to be revealed for the cover of MLB The Show 25. You know who I want. You know how I feel like that actually fits what this teaser was. And I'm really hoping that we get it with Tarek Skubal. I think it'd be really cool to have him on the cover. He had some really good, like, photogenic shots that happened last year, with how excited he got on the mound. It would be a great cover for MLB The Show and all the different pictures they have in between the menus as well. So, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.